Well, you look the part, but let's see some of your moves.
See a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carbonites off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, told me get myself together. Now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the carbonite is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. Solo. Picking up my blaster, put it on my side. I'm jumping in my Falcon, put me on my side. I'm solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. Solo.
Okay, I can see you have some skills, but now it's my turn.
Well, there we go.
Hello, hello.
Apparently, we just can't get all three of us on.
Yeah, I guess it's this rule. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess.
I guess. So it's been a month, right? The whole month of October.
Yeah, wasn't it a week or two in September or no?
It might have been. No, I think it was the first. I want to say it was I don't know. I think it was the first week, but who knows? It seems like October just flew by anyway. But
Yeah, very much so.
and we're already almost in the middle of November. So.
One of the things I've been telling John every week for the last couple of weeks is how much I enjoyed that new intro.
Well, I got a new outro today, so
nice.
So before we'll wait a minute to talk about our movie shoot, only because maybe John will be here and we can rub it in his face that he couldn't be Cowboy Boot Stormtrooper.
Yes, I actually have costume stuff to talk about.
Okay, I have troop time. Do you have any troop time?
I don't have any troop time to talk about.
Okay, I'll start with troop time and then we can go into costume.
That's right. I forgot you just recently had the Halloween stuff.
So the Thursday before Halloween, I did a troop with Old Line Garrison. I actually organized it for my school, which is kind of weird because anyway. But Old Line Garrison is the Maryland troop or the garrison, and we did Perryville Middle School's Spooktacular. And I recommend, out of the 2 people watching us, I don't know if our chats are working today. So if our chat is working, please jump in. But if you get a chance to go to that troop, it's really cool. We had myself, I forget the one gentleman's name. He was a sand trooper. Quinn was our biker scout. I was a TK. Zoe came as Sabine for the Mando Mercs or Rebel Legion. I don't know which one she was signed up for. And then a gentleman brought his R2D2, and then we had a squire. So we had 2 hours of just getting pictures with kids. It's similar to a trunk or treat, but it's in the building.
Okay.
Which as a Halloween enthusiast, I do not like trunk or treats, but I have to say that for the record. But for the school, it's really nice because I know some kids don't have anywhere to go for trick or treat, or it's just nicer. And
what do you think it's going to take for us to get Quinn an actual speeder?
Every time I see him, 2 things I always think when I see Quinn in that biker scout is I'm like, I should really do a biker scout. And then I think no more new projects till I get all my old ones done. And I also think that about a speeder. So when we get the costume time, because I had some plans, because you could 3D print one, which to me seems overkill. Plus, that seems like a nightmare. Like you'd just be constantly breaking it. But I do have some thoughts on that. So yeah, we had that one, and then for Halloween, I had Dan and Marty came to my trick or treat, and Marty was a Death Trooper, the original Death Trooper from the book, not the Death Trooper from
Ah,
one, like the skeleton and half zombified and stuff.
yeah, that's the Death Trooper that John was talking about last week when we were talking about scary parts of Star
You
Wars.
know, and that was a good show. That was I don't know if it was last week or the week before. One of those shows was the highest show count we got on Anchor.
Really?
Yeah, one of those two shows was pretty high up. It was, I mean, it's 14 listens on that. Now I don't again, but compared to our normal 7, it's doubled.
Yeah,
Doubled.
yeah, math. That's just math.
I shouldn't have said the number. I should have said the viewing was double. It was double. It was up 200%. I'm sorry. Just erase. No one heard. It was 1,400. No. Um. So that was. I mean, I love that show. The only thing though you forgot is when the scariest thing I think in Star Wars was when they used that one Jedi's corpse to attract Jedi.
Ooh,
In
The Sifo Dyas? No, was it
no,
Sifo?
in Rebels, the kids show.
Oh
They
yeah,
used her. They had her. She was executed, but they basically had her like her body kind of alive, just to
that's
attract the
right.
Jedi.
I forgot about that one.
That was probably the scariest Star Wars to me, like the creepiest. You know. So, um,
We should do an episode where we attempt to figure out how many either dismemberments or decapitations have happened in Star Wars.
oh yeah,
Because even from the very first episode, there was, Pondo Baba got his arm cut off and things like that.
here I got. I'm taking. We had a bot or something post up.
Man, we're
It won't let me get rid of it. All right, I'll have to let it sit for a minute. Yeah, no, because there's also in that one of those episodes in Rebels, they chop off 2 officers' heads right
well.
off screen, and you hear them hit the ground.
I thought Ahsoka cut was this. Yeah, it was Ahsoka. I thought Ahsoka beheaded some people.
Yeah, Ahsoka did too. So I mean, I yeah. So that's I got other things to say about a couple things, but that was my troop time, and then we'll go into armor because I got to hear your armor story. That is our. Where's my? I have way too many. Here we go. Chatting in costume corner.
Yeah, so this isn't even though I'm the one talking, it's not for me or my costume. So we were lucky enough to spend Sunday with one of the members of the Pennsylvania Mando Mercs who's going to help Heather put together her soft parts. So
Nice.
she's working on her flight suit and vest and everything. And it's when I say it's going to be hers, I mean it is going to be Heather's costume, from top to bottom. So that's super duper exciting. We must have spent I don't know like 5 hours, um, getting her all patterned up and everything like that.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was really good. It's nice to see a progress on any of these costumes that we have in the works, but I think it's even more fun to know that the progress is being made for Heather's costume.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's good for you and her. But now that means you might actually have to be an assistant occasionally.
Yeah,
And
with
then
all the
how do you? The first time I squired or whatever you call it, I was like, I don't believe Missy's put up with this nonsense.
well, see, I do have what going for me is before I actually got my costume put together, I did a whole bunch of squiring. So
Oh, good.
and it's only fair that at some point I spend hours taking pictures of Heather with people because she's taken several thousand pictures of me over the years in my Kennex costume, so it's only fair.
Yeah, I saw John posted up. So hopefully he's on his way. Um, so yeah, there is something like when there is a certain point where I actually like just going and taking pictures too. Like sometimes I wish I could mount a camera in my TK helmet. because I just like sometimes I like to just stand myself and watch people. Like if I'm with certain characters, like if there's a Vader or a Chewie or an R2 or a 3PO, sometimes it's just cool to watch them because as a TK, people love you, but at a certain point you become invisible, which is kind of
Yeah,
cool too.
you become part of the decoration.
Yeah, yeah. So now she's doing Bo-Katan, which season?
I think we're working on season 2 Bo-Katan.
I should have brought that Bo-Katan undersuit to show you. That
Well, I
I
saw it when I came up and visited you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that was actually the route we were going to go if we weren't going to be able to schedule a time with Barry.
Well, that's what I'm gonna. I have this Sabine undersuit, but it's the wrong color. So I'm debating on either sending it back or keeping it and taking it to a seamstress and say, "Look, I want it slightly thicker material, but this exactly like this. Just it fits Zoe perfectly. Just here it is. Just make me this." You
Yeah,
know. So yeah, John posted up about the strike ending. So we can't report that the strike has ended yet because it's not on the official SAG site yet. So
and has the writer strike officially ended? Like, did
I think
they vote on it?
the writers did agree. The writers did agree on theirs, but the what I see reporting is um, that it could end Thursday, but I don't think there's been an official um, statement.
Gotcha.
So you need soft. Is she doing a jetpack and everything? Do you have the
Yep,
jetpack
we do. It's
now?
gotta
Are
gotta
you
do some
permanently
work on it.
posting it on the backpack or on the back piece, or are you going to make them separate?
We have a harness, and the jetpack will be able to come off and come on.
Oh, okay.
We got to do some first aiding to the jetpack because as nice as it is, it's not the greatest pull.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so there's a section in the back it's a hollow jetpack,
Well, that's fine.
and so there's some areas around the edges of the hole in the back that are very very thin. So we've got to do some work there, and we have to. What I'd like to do is on her vest attach some straps on her shoulders
Yeah.
because when the jetpack is sitting in the harness, if this is her back and this is the jetpack on it, the
Yeah.
top of the jetpack, just because of gravity sitting on the harness, pulls away. So I
No.
want to get straps on her back with magnets or even velcro that pull the top of the jetpack towards her spine a little bit more.
Yeah, and you could probably put elastic on that too, like heavy elastic.
Yeah.
So if it got bumped, it wouldn't. Because I think you see too many people put stuff on super rigid, forgetting that because anyone that's wears a jetpack, it takes a little while. Like even my PK, I have destroyed my thermal detonator so many times just back into things, and that thermal detonator doesn't stick out as much as a jetpack. So
Yeah, we want to make it so I'm even thinking about getting two vests made. One vest that she can wear when she doesn't have the harness on and doesn't have the jetpack,
right.
and then another vest that has holes in the back for the harness to stick through.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because there's these two hooks that come out from the harness, and they're like L shaped,
Yeah.
and the bottom of the jetpack hooks into that. Um,
Yeah. Well,
so
I saw because I saw Mandalorian ones have those discs, that they slide on. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a really great way to do it. I don't understand the engineering of it just by looking at a couple of pictures, but that's what I'd like to do
well, it's
for
it's similar to like if you ever had a CB,
yeah.
it's similar to a CB mount, like the ring on the back, and then it slides into that little lock.
Yeah, but I mean the engineering of how you position it onto your vest so that it lines up properly with the jetpack.
Well, I think with that, you could also put your strap that you're thinking about, but the strap doesn't necessarily have to match up. Like have the back of the back part strapped to the vet underneath, but that doesn't necessarily match up with where the jetpack mounts. Does that make sense?
Possibly.
The back armor. So just say you had a solid back armor without holes in it.
Well, she doesn't have back armor; it's just a vest.
Oh, she doesn't have back armor. Oh, okay. See now, I don't know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, Bo-Katan
Like you
doesn't have.
mean live action or animated, because it's stuff just sticks on with no apparent straps.
Yeah,
I have
animation magic.
I have heavy magnets that we sewed into a sports bra. And the problem with if you've ever used any of those heavy magnets, they're very good at it, but when you start putting a layer of cloth over them, they go pretty quickly. You know, like, and then, or if you put them on cloth and you don't put it away the right, it now you can't get the thing.
The magnets apart.
So yeah, so that's but that's cool.
Yeah,
And
it was. I don't know if Heather would ever admit it out loud, but I'll admit it out loud for her. It was it was cool to see her as excited as she was, knowing that progress is being made.
yeah,
You know, it's one step closer to actually being a real thing and not just something that we talk about casually.
well, and you did it right in the sense that when she was ready, you made it happen. You and I have been in this long enough to know where we see boyfriends or girlfriends force their boyfriends and girlfriends to do it, and that's the quickest way to make them wear it one time, and then guess what? It's for sale.
Yeah, or it leads to bigger arguments.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
we haven't even gotten to the. It's like, so while I do have the jetpack, I haven't done any work on the jetpack because I want to make sure that the vest and the harness and all of that stuff is figured out first, because I don't want to do any painting or anything on the jetpack in case I have to undo any of that stuff in order to mount it properly.
Right.
So I don't.
Right.
So I'm attempting to be as organized as I can, because unfortunately for me, when I get working on these projects, I'll start on part A, and then I'll work on part W, and then I'll work on part F, and like it just becomes a chaotic mess. And
I'm working on part A of this one and part Q of this one,
yeah,
and I forget that I have 3 other things somewhere else. I
yeah.
forgot to bring your parts to your droid.
Oh yeah, and I showed this last week. I showed this to John, but I haven't got a chance to show it to you yet. Dun, 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 dun.
That's nice. I did see when I watched it. That looks really good.
And so I put
And there was no back to that. Like that's
no,
how the file was.
yeah. And so these holes on the side,
Yeah.
I just put a window screen on the
Nice.
inside, and the same with behind this 3D printed mesh that came
Yeah.
with it. I also put the window screen in there too, just as another layer to
Yeah.
obscure the face a little bit. And I put a matte clear coat over the top of all of it, so even though it's weathered, it won't scratch off
You could
easily.
just get one of those black morph suits to wear over it, cover your eyes and everything, and then
Yeah,
just
that's a nice touch. But so that was part of Costume Corner last week.
that's very nice.
So I have to figure out I got to schedule a time to deliver it to Dexter.
Oh, is that for Dex?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I should
Yeah.
print you one then. That was an easy print. Like that was a good. I forget who I bought it from, but that was a good file. Like you could tell it was made pretty decently.
Well, one
So,
of the things I thought was really, really cool about that. So it's got the rangefinder on the side.
yeah,
And what's cool about it is it automatically has built in a little hook.
yeah,
So if you want it to go down, you just lift up on the rangefinder and it moves. And then if you want to lock it in place, you just push down on it a little bit, and there's a hook on the back that sets on
well, nice.
a
Yeah,
little nub inside this, so it doesn't bounce around. That's one of the problems I've had with my Mando rangefinder. Is after a while during the troop, the screw starts to loosen up and it will dip throughout the day. But having this hook inside
yeah.
makes it so that this doesn't move around that much.
Hmm.
It was a really nice piece of engineering.
Yeah, I like those. I like those files. Yeah, I don't have my costume corner. Let me see. I haven't, other than just wearing my costume at the thing, and I realized I forgot my sand person gloves and all that. I mean, my sand trooper gloves.
And I gotta say, when there was the little issue with the other helmet, it
Yeah.
made me feel not so bad about going to a troop an hour away and having to have Heather drive up and bring me my gauntlets because I'd left my gauntlets in the living room.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm surprised I didn't forget. That's the downside to displaying your stuff, because it's almost like, oh, we never sent John the link. Man, we're John probably was sitting there thinking that we didn't want him. Probably just sitting there crying and watching a Futurama. Um, yeah, I mean that's just like I said. That's the thing I hate. I hate and love about displaying it. Like I think I almost need to empty my tote out. Like I need to have the tote has to be completely empty. So then when I suit up, I'm like, okay, this goes here. That's what I think I have to.
Yeah, so it forces you to get all the pieces together
Like you almost you need one of those cards. Like you just have a laminated card. Okay, I'm gonna be
with
a
a dry erase marker attached to it on a string.
I need like you just pull out what costume you want, mix and match. Go to A5 and get your shoes.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I that's I mean, but Marty brought two costumes, so we'll give him but I cut my nose because I still never cut the screws off on my voice things on my Sandy, and they stick out. So when I was turning my head for that one grenade shot, the the thing came across my nose.
Oh my goodness.
So because I had to exaggerate because that helmet shakes a lot. So when I turn this way, if I turn slow, the helmet just sits there. So I had to whip it so it looked like I got such a fat head. Like I'd love to have padding in there so it fits my head, but then I can't get my head in. Is the problem. So I wished he would have let Marcus have his gonk droid
Ciao.
just walking across the background.
It would have been perfect. It would have made perfect sense.
Well, we did run out of time. I mean, that was the we could have sped it up a little bit, but
And we could have done some glamour shots with the sunset.
yeah. I think everyone was beat. Everyone I think gave it 100%. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, John says he'll be here momentarily, so we'll make him feel bad and talk about our troop. We're in how many minutes in? We're 23 minutes in, so that's not too
Yeah,
bad.
we got time.
But yeah, so I might print you another one of those helmets
Okay.
because I'm getting ready to start Chopper, and so I want to get I just got to test a couple prints, and then I have to decide like I got to spend the money on. I want to make sure I have enough filament when I start Chopper.
Yeah,
So
because you don't want to get down to the third day in and realize you need two more spools.
yeah, well, like I said, the first run of just getting the body is 19 days. That's all 5 printers running on a schedule. Meaning, I check them in the morning, boom, boom, go down. That's the plan. So, but I'm gonna have to buy, and I just have to figure that out.
And have you prepared the rest of the family so they can change spools or anything like that for you?
I know, I know. There's because the one printer's okay, but a couple of them, if you just push that filament in too hard and crush that tube, then that means I got to take the whole thing apart to change a little tiny tube. You know, it's similar to the clutch in my car. The clutch in my car has almost 300,000 miles because I'm the only one that drives it. You know, so I'll just keep it at that. But if Matt wants to do pilots, I would wear one of these alien masks if I can fit it over my head. Like just put a some kind of pilot uniform and put that big furry guy with the 2 horns. Just stick. I can't see. Like you can't see out of that mask, but
As long as you got something to work towards, and
yeah. Just have this guy sit here. Whoops, I turned John off.
Well, hello there.
Ever.
Huh. Yeah, I never got a link.
I'm sorry. Did you think that we didn't want you or something? Like,
No, I thought like, oh, maybe Mike's got something going on. Maybe we're starting late.
I'm sorry. Well, see, I'm out of practice. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna, I was working on the new outro and
And I stepped back into my usual engineer seat instead of being the co-pilot. So
I just got left in the docking bay, I guess.
yeah, we had to turn around. We had to turn around
yeah,
and pick up John.
we were already 3 exits into
20
the
minutes,
trip.
20 light years away.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? Like, I was just watching a documentary, and then I was like, I wonder if Mike even like created the like thing, because I was gonna send the link out to one of my friends.
I created it yesterday.
I never got it.
I didn't send the loop. So, and you said about the strike. I don't know if it's officially announced yet.
SAG said tonight at 12:01 is
Right.
the
But I mean, was that on their site or was that? I haven't seen it on their site yet. I'm waiting.
I have not seen it on their site.
I wait till I see it on their site only because, just because. But I from all intents and purposes, compared to what I heard this morning when I was driving to work, they were like, we can't accept this. I was like, oh, okay. So that's good and bad. I'm gonna have to be sad dad for a while. So
yeah, let me see if.
But anyway, we were just getting ready to talk about our shoot. So
I'm glad I made it for that.
it was. Let me hear. I guess I should get that.
Well, it was okay. I mean, it was fine, as fine as a Star Wars fan film can be.
Yes. It was very. You know what? We got there and it was not freezing cold. So,
Yeah, I'm sad I wasn't there.
It actually warmed up really nicely. I think it was close to 70.
Oh, Ken was sporting the pink shorts the whole day.
I saw that.
And I was worried that his wife was going to leave him just after the first couple photos I posted.
Well, that in and of itself is kind of funny because
Give us the story here.
yeah. So let's rewind. We were supposed to get together earlier this year, and there was that little joke about Ken Nightingale and how he wore those bright shorts, filming out on Tatooine. And I was joking around saying that I was going to get some, so I got some for that March shoot. And then March didn't happen. We pushed it off until the summer. And then there were the wildfires, and I still had the shorts, and that didn't happen. And so for this one, knowing it was going to be colder, I just put the shorts on under my regular pants. Wasn't going to tell anyone that I had them until lunchtime, and then come out after lunch wearing the shorts.
And I ruined it.
Well, you guys started asking whether you said something about it, and Marty said something about it. And I don't know if either one of you believe me, so I just dropped my pants.
And I took a picture.
Yeah, and there were the bright pink shorts. And yeah, and then I wore the bright pink shorts for the majority of the day, and got some chuckles, and whether it's from the rest of our crew or the random people on, unicycles and bicycles wandering through going, what the hell is going on over there? But it was really, really a fun day. We had six troopers.
We had a lot of. It seemed like we had a lot of people there and then Donna came and brought like snacks, and that at one point I was waiting down by the. I mean, we're jumping around. I know. I was waiting by the little camp we built, and I saw when you guys were filming up top, there was like tons of people on every hill watching you guys film.
Yeah, it was quite a day. And then, so I am also going to jump around. Today, there's this random Facebook group called Pennsylvania Rails to Trails.
Mm-hmm.
And they had posted a bunch of pictures from the film shoot saying, what's going on here? And that's what I had sent to you guys earlier today. Just randomly. So so a bunch of folks, participated in our shenanigans, and the weather was perfect. Everyone was in great spirits. Whether we're talking about our, our imperial officers, the stormtroopers, Chewie, even Han himself was in great spirits.
Yeah, it was good. And then Marcus brought a whole bunch of props. Like he brought all those like canisters and stuff like that. And so it was a good day of shooting. I mean, he wants to do the Rebel base next. So me and Ken know nothing about that, but he wants to do some sort of Rebel base. So we all have to come up with some kind of Rebel costume.
Yeah, and I think it's time for me to put something together where I can actually be in front of the camera instead of just handling the boom mic behind the camera.
Yeah, well, you're good at that. You're going to be in front of the camera and you're going to be looking at, make sure they're doing it.
No, higher.
I was surprised that they didn't have a secondary recording device on the boom mic.
Well, the boom actually went right into the camera.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised they didn't have you with a secondary device.
Yeah.
So you weren't tethered to the camera. That's what I was surprised. But that was good. I mean, it was the weather. If someone would have told me November weather would have been like that, like it was the warmest, like, we shot till almost dark. We had, and then we all went out to eat. So it was good. Matt fed us. So thanks to Matt for all that. And it was a fun day, but you were missed, John. You were missed. But Zach was there dying. And
is he retiring his armor? I saw on Facebook.
Then I got a message from him that maybe I could help him repair it. So I was like, yeah, it's going down. Because his armor, when you look at it, it is cleaner than my armor. And I don't fall around and, you know what I mean? Like it has a few, there's a couple pieces that can be fixed, but literally a bottle of super glue and some sign material, and most of it can be fixed. I mean, it's,
And I think in his case, he just needs the extra set of hands kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's all TK. Everyone building a TK needs. It's just, I built TK by myself, and it's not fun. An extra set of hands will cut your build time in half. Because there's sometimes you're just like, hey, can someone just hold this while I glue this, instead of you have to make, like, I had to trace a piece of wood and cut a vise and, so. But yeah, I had a troop time. I trooped, and then I had my Halloween. How about your troop time, John? Did you have any trooping since last week?
Nope.
Oh, and one of your episodes last week or the week before, I'm going to use this Ken that we talked about. It had double the amount of listeners on Anchor of our average episode.
Really?
Yeah. Which we average about 7. You guys had 14.
Ooh.
Double digits, baby.
So, but
I always joke around. We have tens of listeners.
Yes. Hey, it's like anything, you if we're doing it for fun, and I mean, why not like Star Wars? Because we ran into the Vespa gang when we were out recording these guys on those one wheel things, like we're riding out, But,
and when we say gang, we're talking there was at least 15 or 20 of them,
and they were like I grew up with Harley people, but now when you see Harley people, they're like cosplayers of Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These were like cosplayers of Sons of Anarchy that have the single wheel rider thing, because they had a look that like the coolest of them started dressing that way, and they all kind of like followed,
Yeah.
And they were Star Wars fans, but
to a degree,
they had to walk away from some conversations because the typical they.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you picked up on it, but
yeah. As soon as Ken headed I'm in Stormtrooper armor, so I can't head for the hills anytime quick. I'm just like clankety clank clank. Some of them wanted pictures. Yeah. I have my helmet on, and I hear their opinions on all these terrible things, and I'm just like, take the picture so I can join Ken in his exodus.
Yeah, see, that's why you keep the helmet on. So that's my favorite part about being a helmeted character, because you can roll your eyes as much as you want at some of these people's opinions, and they never even know.
Yeah.
In their mind, you're just yeah.
And Ken, I did forget my blaster. When we were talking about forgetting things, I did forget my blaster
Oh yeah, that's right.
because I was my stuff was still packed up. My bottom of my kit was still packed up for the school, and I just took my blaster out because I didn't want to accidentally get fired because I had a what looked like a machine gun in my tub.
That'll do it.
So
Yeah, I'm disappointed I couldn't make it out there. But I mean, on the bright side, I had a terrible day at work, but the Browns pitched their first shutout in the last 15 years the next day.
well,
So
maybe you had a terrible day at work for the Browns to win.
right, if that's all it takes every Saturday and Sunday, I'm here for it.
So, well, so here's what I was thinking, because we're a little past the halfway. I thought we would go holiday shopping. So because it's almost Life Day. Are you going to the Life Day party for the Mandalorian Mercs, Ken?
Yep. Heather and I will both be there.
Because the girls have to work, but Zoe's having one for her friends that Friday because she doesn't work.
Oh, really? That's cool.
So
it's what November? It's November 25th, or no?
No,
what day is the Life Day?
17th or the 18th.
Something like
17th or the 18th.
I have a coin somewhere that says it on it. I just don't want to dig for it.
But anyway, so I thought, here, let me see if I can share my. Here's our catalog to shop from.
November 17th.
So here, this is the Sears catalog from 1978, John.
Okay.
So, I looked up because I know you and Marty had problems with conversions, So let me see if I can get this to work.
Let's do this.
I know when we were in England, you had your conversion problems. So
it was tough.
Yes. So I have here. I got a conversion chart if it wants to share. It was sharing perfectly when me and Ken were not online. There we go. There we go. So $4. Let me see. $1. Let's just do this. $1. $1 in 1978 is equal to $4.72.
Yikes.
Okay. So why does this?
So a TIE fighter would roughly be about $93.
On this page, this is the one that amazed me and Ken. Number 13, you get a vinyl cape Jawa and 2 sand people for $4.88. All right. So you can have a vinyl cape Jawa. I'm just saying, if you ever travel back in time, you know where to go shopping. The vinyl cape Jawa and 2 sand people would cost you $23.04 today, if back then. Now, what was that TIE fighter price?
TIE fighter's $10.99. So it's got to be around like 93-ish.
$51.
50. What? That doesn't add up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, because every dollar is almost $5.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that makes sense. My brain's off.
It's all right. You don't have to do math on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Says the math teacher.
Yes, I know. The Death Star space station.
Yeah. So wait for this one.
This was the cheaper one. This was
$17.87.
$17.87. $84.
Oh.
Now where's the wait?
I want to know who was sitting around the table coming up with the names for some of these toys.
Oh, I know.
I want to know who's coming up with some of these prices. 1787.
Oh,
Like,
so here's why you have those prices. So if I go to let me go to the other one. That was the there is a website that has all the old catalogs scanned in from like 1940s till whenever. Okay, here we go. So here is I think this is the Sears one. So they sell, or no, this is I forget which one this is. Their Death Star battle station is $19.99.
Ready to assemble, 3 pounds 4 ounces.
Yeah. So $19.99 if you bought it from them. Now, John, you're too young, but when I was younger, you had layaway. You would go to the store and you would take it to a window at the back end of the store, and they would stick it in a box with your name on it. And every month you would come pay on it until you paid it off.
you know, Mike, I'm starting to question like how old you think I am. Like, I know what layaway is.
Did they?
Layaway still exists.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they still had layaway. Then maybe I'm just too old to. But at $19.99, the Death Star would be $94.37.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's still less than the most recent Naboo fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we were also looking at the single figures. Wait a minute. I think the single figures were $199, right? So if we calculate out $199, this is a good commercial for Ollie's. At $199, the figures would be $9.39 today.
That's still not even close to what they actually are.
No, but you can go get the vintage ones at Ollie's
for
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
So yay for Ollie's.
Let's see. What about is there a Falcon on there?
78. Did they have the Falcon? I don't think they had it for Christmas.
No, I thought that was
that
either
was
79 or 80.
Yeah.
It was at least 80 because they had it for Empire.
I mean, I should have looked that up, but I was just thinking since it was the year Life Day started, we would
stick
shop
to
with
that.
Life Day. And then I looked for these oddball things. Like, let me see.
Like the Darth Vader bop bag.
Yeah, but here's what's this one here? I don't know why I pulled these a couple days ago, so I don't know why this one was pulled. Let me see. Is there any Star Wars on here? Did I?
What are those costumes?
Oh yeah, here we go. Darth Vader and C-3PO ponchos.
Oh, it's poncho.
98. Right in the middle. And again, this was when I was a kid. My grandmother got the big catalogs, and then we were supposed to get a piece of paper and mark what we wanted and write the page number. You know, so
Just for the sake of argument, I did find it. It would be 9106 for the Falcon today.
Well, just for fun, how much is it selling for on eBay?
A lot more than $91.
And you know what though? When they came in the box back, those first ones literally were just thrown in the box loose with a piece of tape over them. So here's a Star Wars paint by number. They call it dots or whatever. $2.94.
Is that the Space Warriors container, like the carry case?
That's a color form. Did you? I had the Star Wars color forms when I was a kid, but I think they came later. Color form is that was like the most boring gift ever.
The repositionable stickers that after a while they didn't stick.
And they're all one color. Like it was like, okay, here's a whole bunch of yellow ones and here's a whole bunch of blue ones. Let me see. Let me see why I have this one done. Oh yeah, this one here I put because I don't remember this Chewbacca.
I don't remember that Chewbacca either.
Hmm.
I remember
That's-
the 12-inch Vader. I thought.
Shag
Yeah.
plush covered pile, fully posable, $9.94. But that
What's
also
that?
might be one of those ones that barely came out. Like, you know what I mean? Because these catalogs, you would get them so early.
What's that little space helmet?
That's when everything was space everything. Like you know, I should have pulled some of the knockoff stuff. But like there's the die cast metal TIE Fighter and X-Wing, $3.35 and $3.35. They made you guys remember slot race cars?
Mm-hmm.
They made a slot race car Star Wars set. And the one car was an X-Wing and the other car was Darth Vader. And it was just slot cars that looked like they just stuck it on everything. Here's the costumes. Now, these were the rich people costumes because like the C3PO costume I had, it had this mask, but it had C3PO's face on the chest.
Is that Don
I
Post
think
stuff?
people think we're going to look like when they want us to troop.
That Chewbacca is beautiful. Like it's.
Oh yeah, they were like, what are we going to do with these old werewolf masks?
Yeah. Ken, by the way, just to answer your question from earlier, because I did do some research for you. Do you want to know what just the box goes for?
The X-Wing or the Millennium Falcon box?
Just the box.
Okay, lay it on me.
It averages between about $100 to $250, depending on the condition of the box,
Okay, well,
with or without inserts.
Shut your mouth. No.
Look. $8.77 for the Star Wars Cantina Adventure set from Sears.
$100 for a box.
For a box.
Hey, guys were getting $100 for the Mandalorian's Razor Crest box, just for the box.
Who
So,
has that kind of disposable income that they're literally buying garbage?
I know.
Like,
But it's a
And I
collector's
understand-
item.
I understand. Like, believe me, I have lots of boxes. You know, and many of those boxes still have the things in them. But to go out and say, "Oh, I'm going to spend $100 on the box," that's
Well,
bonkers.
The Cantina Adventure set was $8.77. What
Is that the one that had the little
What?
slide that
Yeah.
they made them
That-
look like they moved?
That was essentially a piece of plastic with cardboard.
Yep.
Because I don't think you got any figures with it, did you?
No.
You might have gotten maybe Greedo.
Or Pondo Baba?
No, I don't. I
And
mean,
he probably wasn't even called
Let's see.
Pondo Baba
No.
then. He's probably called Walrus Man.
Bizarre Adventures create new ones with 4 fully posable plastic. No, you get 4.
Wow.
For
That's-
$9?
That's cheaper than to buy all the figures.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think
I know.
a lot of these places were still reeling from the mail order debacle of 77.
Yeah.
You know, because I was when that mail order, there was no way my grandmother was buying me that mail order box. Like that was just not going to happen. You know. But yeah, it's includes with they call them fully posable.
5 points of articulation.
So
Yeah. However, $477 for the land speeder though, that's not bad.
that's
$455.
$4.99 is I think what my grandmother paid for mine at Kmart or Jamesway.
It's so weird that all of these prices have such vast differences between them. Because if you think about it, now, everything is a set standard price.
Well, but this is how they used to compete. So when you had Sears and Penny's, and what was the other one? Service merchandise. And they tried to nickel and dime you, like the Sears and a lot of this. They were the only ones where you could buy the 3-packs.
Mhm.
You know, so Now, for me, my grandmother wouldn't buy a 3-pack because $6 even or whatever these were. It was probably cheaper to buy them in a 3-pack, but it wasn't a cheaper amount of money at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're $4.88 for a 3-pack, but my grandmother she still would have had to pay $5 for a toy for me, where she could just pay $1.99 or $1.79 at Kmart or Jamesway. Spread the love a little bit. Here's a probe the unknown with your space might generator light. So it is basically one of those handheld that you have to crank to make light. They just put the word space on it, and they sell it for $3.94.
But
So
you can probe the unknown regions.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to probe anything more in my life.
And then here's the lightsaber. These were, I think, sturdy plastic. Oh, yeah. These were the ones you actually had to blow up.
Yeah, the inflatable one. It's a balloon.
It was like the Inflatable Falcon's predecessor.
I was going to make the joke, but I didn't.
And then they had the knockoffs were these black handled ones that had holes cut in them. And when you swung it, it made the lightsaber sound.
The whistling, yeah.
But I don't think they were a laser sword. I think they were a laser sword. Like space sword or whatever they're called.
That needs to be an episode in and of itself. We need to talk about all the knockoff Star Wars merchandise over the years.
Well, I would definitely. I just did this for fun. We don't have. I just thought this was neat when I was. But I would recommend anybody that has any love of any of the Star Wars toys. Where'd our picture? Where'd we go? Oh, there we go. Anyone that has go just look up Sears catalog, and they have all the catalog. The more interesting part is the pages on both sides of the Star Wars pages. Because you had Micronauts, which I used to get Micronauts because we got them when you couldn't get Star Wars toys. And you have all these ones that are basically like, look, if they can't get the Star Wars, they'll buy these or they'll buy these. And you can see the progression of that, especially in those, I would say that but I was looking at the pre-Star Wars because I had a lot of those toys, and the Star Wars figures changed the catalog. Like if you look at the catalog in 1976 and then look at it in 1980, the Star Wars stuff changed what the toys kids were buying.
Yeah, and I'm lucky enough. I have a couple catalogs. They're not from stores. They're from Kenner. So a friend of ours, who for right now will remain nameless because I don't want to get him in trouble. He worked there for a while, and they would have these catalogs, in the break room or whatever. And so he got them when he worked there, and they're from the 70s and 80s, and has held on to them for all this time. He's here, Ken. I know these will be a nice addition to your collection.
Well, they used to come with the Star Wars toys used to come with a big pull-out catalog.
Yeah, because they wanted you to literally collect them all, like Pokemon.
Gimme book. I used to call them gimme books when the girls were little. I used to hate those when you're a parent. You're like, they're opening the toy you just bought them, and they're making the list of what they want next before they play with what you just. But
yeah, but I mean, come on, we do that. It's costumes.
I do that too. I'm how many costumes I got working on. The other thing is I priced the 1977 Sears catalog. If I want to buy one, they range from like $150 to $500.
Wait,
catalog
for catalog? Hold on, because you validated something I just saw.
You're lying.
Dallas Vintage Toys, because I looked up Star Wars Sears catalog. It is sealed in a plexiglass case, 1978 Kenner Star Wars Sears catalog. Or no, wait a minute. Okay, never mind.
No, but
it cut
I
off.
was looking for them. There were people selling them. Now, I don't know if people were buying them, but there are people selling them. Like I said, it ranged from $100 to over $500
for the catalog.
For a Sears catalog. Like what most of us when one of your relatives pass away, it's the first thing that goes in the dumpster.
Yeah, once again, paying for garbage.
Yeah.
At least this little figure up here, even though it's broken and belongs in the garbage, it wasn't designed to be garbage.
Hey, my grandmother saved them all, and I would say probably in the late '80s, she had an entire bookcase. The bottom of the bookcase was just catalogs from the last 20 years, and we were just like, "Look, you can't have this. Is like a fire hazard, you
It's
know."
called kindling.
So, but I would recommend find a website that scanned them all in, and just like look at it for just the sheer photo, like a snapshot of what people were doing. Though the men's clothes are weird. If you look at that, you're like, oh my god, I'm so glad I don't live right
Yeah,
there.
how many pairs of pink shorts did you find?
I didn't look for pink shorts, but man, Ken was rocking his pink shorts though. No, but
Shaved legs and everything.
Matching him and
Ooh.
so yeah, it was good. I mean, we I know we went off our little shopping spree, but I wanted to do that before we ran out of time. But you were missed, John. You were missed.
Yeah, I'll be there next time because as soon as the Brown season's over, I mean that frees up so much time for me.
Yeah,
I
well,
have to devote one of my days off a week to Sundays. So
when he also can't shoot anything. It's depending on what winter looks like here. He's not going to be able to shoot anything anytime soon because daylight savings hit us, and then it gets dark super. It's like dark before you even get done work.
Yep.
But I'm glad to be back.
Look, I was so looking forward to this episode that I was only 30 minutes late to.
That's
because I'm so happy that we have our family's whole again.
Yes. If I check, doing my math again we still don't have anyone that donated to our inflatable Falcon. So I'm trying.
We'll get there one day.
Watching now, and hopefully it's probably not like one of us have a feed open, but again, check our GoFundMe page to help us get our inflatable Falcon. And if you have an inflatable lightsaber from 1978.
Yeah, let us know. Do you think Toga has one?
Probably.
Toga has everything.
Has catalogs too.
Well, Jordan probably has. I know that Jordan's been showing pictures of the early bird toys lately.
Yeah, I'm debating either going up to see him Saturday or Black Friday. I haven't decided. I got to.
Is he having any Black Friday sales?
He just does his normal. He has some good sales. Like I think people are surprised where his shop prices are actually better than most prices.
Well, because Jordan doesn't have an ego like some of these eBay sellers. But that's a whole. We'll save that tangent for next week.
$100 for a box.
Hey, it's if you can get it. I mean, I like when we were. Did your dad buy the Falcon from Marty?
No, he bought the AT-AT though.
AT-AT, okay. But it's just amazing. Like when you put certain things out, you're like, this should be worth this. And then like when I sold all that stuff at that market, I sold all the garbage. It sold. I still have all the stuff that I thought would go right away because my prices were so good. And they're like, well, how much is that? I'm like, I told them the price. They're like, I'll take, whatever. Like, those extra tall figures that came out after the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I just had a smattering of them. One lady bought them all up. No packaging, no weapons. She was just so happy. I was like, okay. Because they were literally just like, well, just throw them in there and see if they go.
Yeah. Nobody wants them, but apparently they're very valuable. Because I'll look on Facebook Marketplace sometimes and I'll see them for like $150. Like, who's paying this?
I know. Well, and I see people listing stuff vintage, and it's like from, it's Ray. It's like vintage Star Wars. Like, wait a minute,
I think we use these words somewhat differently.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think what else we did. What else we did Saturday, and we had a good grenade scene where they threw a grenade between the two.
It was good on not filmmaking standards, but just funny because of what we were attempting to do was not matching reality.
Yeah.
So picture this in your mind. You've got these two sets of Star Wars container, two stormtroopers on either side of this small gap in between this pile of stuff. The idea was to gently toss this grenade in between the two of them with flashing lights. The stormtroopers look at each other, and then an explosion occurs. Okay, so can you picture that in your head?
I got a good visual image.
Okay, so now picture this thing that we're using as a grenade continuously bouncing off the rock hard limestone in every matter of
Breaking
direction.
every time they throw it, and they have to kind of put it back together so the lights work.
So because it wasn't actual sand, it wasn't like landing and staying put. It was hitting and bouncing, or hitting and breaking into pieces. So it was just take after take after take, to the point where we were just tickling ourselves with how they were going. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And he listened, like when we did the one scene where he wanted us all to run up that thing. He had us running up a ravine in TKs we couldn't see. So I said, "Look, can we move the shot over so we can run on flat ground?" You know, because
Was it in that same ravine that we did the first time?
no, there was
not the deep one.
Yeah, we were up on top, and he wanted us to come up over the hill. But he had us going. He had the camera all set up, and we would have run where there was like a big piece of metal, and I was like, "Can you just move it? Like, you know what it's like with a TK helmet on, you know?"
Yeah, you got one eye ish.
Yeah,
especially if you're running into the sun.
Yeah. But it was good. I mean, it was, and they did some drone shots, which I don't know what they did the drone shots for.
It was a very, very brief shots. It wasn't a lot either, but it was. I'm just gonna chalk it up as a great day.
Yeah, it was a good day. Me and Zoe were starving though, because everyone always forgets that we don't eat cheese. So it's like, oh, pizza's for everybody. We're like, oh, you know. So, but it was good. Zoe was there helping out. I mean, they didn't have much for her because she thought they were gonna have a second unit, so she just kind of took pictures and held the big reflection board.
The bouncer.
Yeah, so. But that's it. That's a wrap on today. I'm glad you guys went shopping with me. And let me close this out, and then we can talk.
Take two.
Oops. Let me see. Let me make sure I get the right outro.
No disrespect to my man here, but you ready for the real deal superstar?
Nothing new. Stuck in this jungle, water. I need a cure to make it through. Hey, dance, yeah. There's nothing left for me to do but dance.
someone like you.